One of the most densely populated cities in the world. If you really want to understand the Philippines, you really have to start with Manila. The Philippines' national hero. He's the true heart of this nation. One of the most significant and powerful spots, not just here in the park, but probably in Manila or the Philippines.
Welcome to the Philippines!
Pretty much the living symbol of Manila.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Long life.
Have you seen a drum this big in your life, Mihai? Not just one culture, it's not just one story, it's many islands, many voices, and many ways of living. Ingredients are very simple, but it's really satisfying. Destroyed and rebuilt a total of 8 times. 2 weddings in a day. They discovered here about 600 bodies. That's just not words to describe what I'm feeling right now. I don't want to leave now. I don't want to leave Manila. Hi guys, welcome to the Philippines. We arrived in the capital, Manila, 2 days ago. It was a direct 8-hour flight from Dubai, so very straightforward and easy to get here. So I'll just quickly show you the accommodation tour we did when we arrived. Okay, so this is our accommodation in Manila. This time we have a tiny studio apartment. So this is small kitchen. It seems like we have all the cooking facilities. We've got a fridge, a microwave as well. Then on this side, we have the bathroom. Okay, so once again, not very big, but it is quite clean from what I can see. Then over here we have some wardrobes. And this time we have a bunk bed, so that's a first for us. Small working space on this side. We also have some drinking water available, which is great. And a little balcony. Oh yes, and another working space just on that side as well, along with an air conditioner too. So this is our balcony. Now the apartment is located on floor number 39. And as you can see, we get a lovely view of Manila Bay all the way down there in the distance. And you can also see a mixture of tall and some smaller buildings as well. You can probably also hear the traffic and the noise. It's quite intense at this hour. Everyone's busy going about their day. But we are staying in the area of Malate. So it's really great for us because it is very close to Old Manila and the historical sites that we want to explore. So yeah, I think it's a great location. It's also not too far if we want to go to the new city as well. So what do you think, Mihai? You like it?
Yes, very nice and clean.
Bit small, but it's
you have everything here.
yeah, it's very well equipped. It's good.
And it's close for everything.
Yes, so we are very happy with our choice. The apartment is very clean and also very well equipped with everything we need. We are staying here for 3 nights and we're paying about $24 per night. Now we have been struggling quite a bit with the jet lag, I must say, so we haven't really been able to explore that much in the first couple of days. We did need that extra bit of rest, so hopefully today we get to see at least a little bit of what the city has to offer. So it is a busy morning here in Manila. It's very loud, very chaotic, a lot of traffic, a lot of people. It can be a bit overwhelming, I must tell you.
What I really like here, everyone smiles.
Yeah, even the police, everyone's been so
Energy.
friendly and hello.
Where are you going? Yes, yeah. Close.
Thank you. Yeah, so everyone's been so welcoming here. It really gives you this positive energy despite all the chaos around you. And it really makes a difference. It makes you feel good and you instantly feel it when you come here in the Philippines. So we are just making our way towards our first stop for the day, Rizal Park. So most of us visitors, when we come to the Philippines, we tend to come here for the islands and the stunning nature. But I think if you really want to understand the Philippines, you really have to start with Manila. It's a city full of layers and history, and it was actually once called the Pearl of the Orient. It was a term given by the Spanish colonizers because they were so fascinated by its beauty, its wealth, and its strategic location in Asia. And with such a rich history and culture, I think it's easily one of the most fascinating cities in Southeast Asia. Okay, so we've arrived at the Rizal Park.
It's kilometer zero.
Yes, so this is basically kilometer zero, so it's like the reference point from which all the distances in the Philippines are measured. Roads leading out of Manila have their kilometer markers counted from here, at this point. Now, Manila itself is located on the western coast of Luzon, the Philippines' largest island. It also sits on the eastern shore of Manila Bay, facing the South China Sea. And you can imagine this coastal location is what made it such a strategic port city for centuries, attracting traders from China, Spain, and later the US. Now, the city of Manila itself is home to about 1.8 million people, while the greater metropolitan area has about 13 million. It is one of the most densely populated cities in the world, with some of the districts having over 40,000 people per square kilometer. The official languages spoken are Filipino and English, although in addition to those, they also recognize 19 regional languages as well. So Rizal Park is considered the national park of the Philippines, and it hosts a wide range of celebrations, protests, and national events. It is dedicated to José Rizal, the Philippines' national hero. So that's why the park itself is called Rizal Park in his honor. And one of the very first things that you see here is a monument of José Rizal himself. Rizal was a writer, a doctor, a linguist, an artist, and a reformist. He wrote powerful novels that inspired Filipinos to fight for reform and independence. Rizal didn't fight with weapons, he fought with words, but those words is what challenged the Spanish authorities, and that's why they saw him as a threat. He was arrested and executed at Luneta Park, now called Rizal Park, and his death essentially became a catalyst for the Philippine Revolution against Spain. Rizal traveled the world. He spoke many languages, I believe over 20 of them, and yet he always thought of the Philippines. So he's the true heart of this nation. And even though he did not lead the revolution himself, it was through his writings that he inspired Filipinos to fight for independence. And eventually, after more than 300 years, the Philippines declared independence from Spain on the 12th of June, 1898. And it was actually the very first country to gain independence from colonial rule in Southeast Asia. But soon after, American forces arrived, changing the course of history once again. The Americans brought public education, the English language, and modern infrastructure, shaping Manila into the city we see today. The Philippines finally gained full independence from the United States on 4th of July 1946. But what's interesting is that today its Independence Day is still celebrated on the 12th of June, so the day they first became independent from Spain. So we've now come to the site where José Rizal was executed by 8 soldiers on the 30th of December 1896. One of the most significant and powerful spots, not just here in the park, but probably in Manila or the Philippines as a whole, is a wall where Rizal's last poem is engraved, My Last Farewell. And it's basically a poem that he wrote in the last hours just before his death. It was not a poem meant to be famous or go public at all. It was actually written in secret by him. But yes, basically these are the last words that he wrote, knowing that he would not see another sunrise. And I must tell you, what moves me the most is that this poem wasn't written in any sort of anger or hatred. It's really a farewell filled with so much love for his country, for his people, and for a future he knew he wouldn't be part of. And then right next to the poem, we have these relief murals depicting some of the key moments from Rizal's life. So starting with some scenes from his childhood, from his school years, and then with some moments throughout his career as a doctor, as a scientist, as a writer, and then ending with his exile. There's a wonderful energy here in the park. There's so many people here today. I think they must even have some sort of an event going on, from what I can see. I mean, it is a Saturday today, so probably that's also another reason why there are so many people here today. But everyone seems to be having fun here, relaxing. People are just talking to one another. Some are playing badminton, from what I can see. There's lots of children playing. It's really a pure joy to just be walking around here. It just relaxes you so much from the bustling streets of Manila. It's just like a little oasis right here in the heart of the city. They also have a beautiful fountain right here, and I have seen some photos online. During the night, it comes alive with colors and music, I believe. They also have, so it must be spectacular to come here in the evening as well.
Welcome to the Philippines!
Thank you. Okay, so we are just crossing the road to go to the other side of the park, and I can't help but notice the multitude of public transport available here in the Philippines, from all sorts of tuk-tuks to different kind of tricycles, obviously cars. But perhaps the most captivating side has got to be these jeepneys, pretty much the living symbol of Manila. These colorful, elongated jeeps were originally US military vehicles, and they were transformed into public transport after World War II. So, yes, you can see they are very, very colorful. They are considered the king of the road here in the Philippines. And each jeepney is quite unique. They're painted with these bright colors, different slogans, and all sorts of personal touches. And no two are exactly alike. So yes, they have become the primary mode of transportation for millions of locals every day. They are also a livelihood for hundreds of thousands of Filipinos. It is estimated that around 600,000 drivers nationwide still make a living by driving one of these jeepneys.
Welcome to Philippines.
Thank you
And
so
mabuhay.
much.
And then you need to eat one of the famous recipe in Philippines, chicken adobo.
Chicken adobo, yes, we're gonna try that today.
We'll
The
try that.
national dish in the Philippines,
Yeah,
right?
yes, one of the popular dish in
The most
Philippines.
popular ones, yes, we'll try that today. Thank you. What is your name?
Frederick Roy.
Frederick Roy.
Yes.
Okay, and you do tours around here in Manila,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so Frederick does all sorts of tours around old Manila. All right, it was nice to meet you.
You're welcome. And then mabuhay. You know mabuhay?
No,
It means long live, long life.
long life.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
Mabuhay.
thank
you.
you.
Live long life. Yes, that's our greetings in Philippines.
And we are greeted by this massive statue of another big hero here in the Philippines, Lapu-Lapu. Now he is actually the first hero of the Philippines. He lived way before Rizal, about 300 years earlier. And yeah, he's basically celebrated for fighting and defeating the first Spanish invaders led by Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan in 1521. So before any Europeans arrived, the islands were already home to thriving communities, coastal villages and local kingdoms like Tondo and Cebu, trading with China, India and other parts of Asia. Magellan tried to convert local rulers to Christianity and assert Spanish control, but Lapu-Lapu refused to submit, defending his territory with warriors. And yeah, eventually he killed Magellan and he became a symbol of Filipino resistance. Now, even though the Spanish did return decades later and eventually established Manila as their capital in 1571, Lapu-Lapu's victory is still celebrated as perhaps the first resistance to colonial rule. And even though he lived much earlier, centuries earlier than Rizal, it was through his courage that he inspired Rizal himself and countless others to fight for the Philippines. Right here in the park, they also have two big museums that you can visit: the National Museum of Natural History, and on the other side, the National Museum of Anthropology. And I believe they are also free entry. So we've decided to make our way to the Museum of Anthropology. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to visit both today. Okay, so we made our way inside. It was indeed free entry. And yeah, this museum mainly focuses on the people of the Philippines, especially the pre-colonial life, indigenous cultures, and everyday traditions, beliefs, and craftsmanship. So over here, you'll find all sorts of ancient pottery, tools, jewelry, burial artifacts. There are also quite a lot of indigenous culture displays, from traditional clothing from different ethnic groups, some musical instruments, weapons, farming tools, and various objects used in daily life. So over here we see some traditional clothing, very colorful with lots of elaborate patterns. We can also see various jewelry items and some very cute bags, which I must admit I would actually wear even today if I could. And just have a look at this massive drum. I've never seen a drum this big in my life. It's also beautifully decorated. Check out the colorful carvings. So detailed. Oh, and there's an even bigger one right behind the one that we just saw. So check this out. It's massive. Have you seen a drum this big in your life, Mihai?
So big. But I'm very impressed about the carvings.
Yes, I mean, the details are extraordinary, and I really love their use of color as well. So elaborate. But I'm very curious also about what it sounds like.
Maybe I try.
No, I don't think. No, we're not allowed to touch it. No, don't do that. No, we're not allowed to touch it. But it must have a very deep sound, I imagine. Yes, if you get the opportunity, I'd highly recommend you come and visit at least one of these museums. It's wonderful to come and learn more about the culture and essentially the roots of this country. You really feel how diverse the Philippines are. And yeah, it's not just one culture, and it's not just one story, it's many islands, many voices, and many ways of living. Right, so we've made our way to Intramuros, which literally translates as within the walls. And this was basically the heart of Spanish Manila and colonial life. So you can see the old walls. So Intramuros sits along the southern bank of the Pasig River here in Manila. It was built by the Spanish in 1571, and its main purpose was for military defense. It was also an administrative center and home for Spanish officials and religious orders. It was the center of political, religious, and educational life during the Spanish era. It housed fortresses, churches, schools, and government offices. It was heavily damaged during World War II, but many of the historic buildings have actually been restored or rebuilt. Yes, I must say the architecture here is quite impressive. It's actually a very different vibe over here. And even though many of the buildings were reconstructed, the streets still follow the same colonial layout. So probably the last thing I was expecting to see here is a Starbucks. But I love the building. Looks very historical, very old. So yes, it goes well with the surroundings. And we made our way to St. Augustine Church. This is the oldest stone church here in the Philippines, and it is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. And you can see it's quite big, it's absolutely massive. The original structure was built in 1607, with the current stone church completed between 1607 and 1609. It was built in Baroque style with a grand facade, intricate carvings, and massive wooden doors. The church survived many earthquakes and wars, making it a very rare historical treasure. And over here, you really get a glimpse of Manila as it was during Spanish rule. So we wanted to go inside initially, but apparently there's a wedding going on at the moment, believe it or not. And it looks like it's a massive wedding by the amount of people that are inside. There are so many people. So yes, we can't actually visit at the moment, but I can already see just how stunning it is inside. The interior does feature marble floors, detailed altars, frescoed ceilings, and various antique artworks. It's absolutely beautiful. It's a true masterpiece, I would say. Yeah, so unfortunately we couldn't go inside, but you could see just how exquisite it looks in the interior. It's just breathtaking. Now, the Philippines is the largest Christian nation in Asia, with about 90% of the population identifying as Christian. Christianity was first introduced by the Spanish colonizers in 1521, and then it was formally established in 1565. Christianity shaped art, architecture, education, holidays, and daily life. It influenced values, family and community traditions, making faith an integral part of identity. Intramuros in Manila became the religious and cultural hub, with churches like St. Augustine playing a key role. Okay, so you can imagine after a lot of walking, we got a bit hungry. So we're just looking for a place to eat, and there were many cafes, many restaurants, so a lot of options right here in Intramuros. But we wanted something a bit more local and authentic. Many of those were quite touristy. So we've come to this little neighborhood right here in Intramuros, which looks a bit more local. So hopefully we can find something. I can see over here, it does look quite different. Many families share very small spaces, and streets often have these sari stores, so tiny family-run shops. So you'll see a lot of motorcycles here, a lot of children playing in the streets as well. But the sense of community here is very strong. Neighbors generally know each other, and people are very social and welcoming. And it's definitely one of the aspects that Mihai and I both value the most whenever we come to a new country. It's the people that always make our trips most memorable, most special, and they are the ones that essentially stay with us long after we leave. Alright guys, so we found a little spot, a little eatery in this local neighborhood. I believe it's inside somebody's home. I don't even think it has a name. It's not marked on Google Maps or anything like that, so I can't even give you a reference. But yes, they had quite a variety of dishes, traditional dishes, but as you know, we want to try the national dish, chicken adobo. So here it is, and yeah, at its core, chicken adobo is essentially chicken simmered in soy sauce, vinegar, garlic, bay leaves, and some black peppercorns. So as you can see, that's it. The ingredients are very, very simple. So I'm very curious to give it a try. So let's see. A piece of chicken, over the rice. Yeah, I'll try and get a bit of the rice as well. It is typically served with rice.
Good.
It's very good. Thank you.
Adobo.
Mm.
Kapul ang adobo. Kapul ganyan po.
Wow, it's actually really, really nice. I mean, at first glance, it looks very simple, and as you saw, the ingredients are very simple, but it's really, really satisfying. It's slightly salty, a bit tangy as well, but it's very bold and rich.
Very nice. How you said, simple, but very nice.
Yeah, he's just going for it. He's not even thinking about it. He's already almost finished.
Yeah. Even the chicken is very nice.
It's very
Soft.
juicy,
Very
right?
juicy, yeah.
Very juicy. It's not dry or anything like that. All right, guys, we are two very different people now.
I'm happy now when you're full.
Three happy kids, we can continue exploring. But those meals ended up costing us 180 pesos, so meaning two main meals plus two bottles of water. So we've now come to the Cathedral of Manila, and this is basically the mother church of the Philippines, and it is the main cathedral for Manila since the Spanish colonial period. But guess what? They have a wedding here as well, so I don't know if we're gonna be able to go inside this one either. There seems to be a lot of weddings going on today. Oh, you could probably hear that group over there. And I must say, everyone looks stunning. The girls are wearing these beautiful dresses. They look amazing. But yes, this is it. This is the cathedral. Now, what's interesting about this cathedral is that it was actually destroyed and rebuilt a total of 8 times. The original church was built in 1581, but yes, due to earthquakes, fires, World War II destruction, it had to be rebuilt many times. The current structure was completed in 1958, combining Romanesque revival architecture with modern engineering to make it more resistant against earthquakes. Okay, so we'll see if we can go inside this one since the wedding group is already outside. So I'm assuming we could go in now. Okay, so we are actually able to go inside and have a look. And you can probably hear the beautiful sound of the organ playing at the moment. So without a doubt, the interior, yeah, it's just extraordinary. Once again, it features these high vaulted ceilings, stained glass windows depicting saints and biblical scenes, and ornate altars and religious statues. Okay, so two weddings in a day. I was wrong. The wedding was only just about to start, but they did let us go inside. only at the entrance though, and we could stand there and watch. So yes, what a beautiful ceremony and a beautiful way for us to experience a Filipino wedding.
Yes.
It's not every day you get to see a wedding like this, and yeah, the bride was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, got a bit emotional there. You know, you always get emotional when you see a bride. Okay, so we've now made our way to one of the oldest and perhaps most iconic landmarks here in Manila, Fort Santiago. It was 75 pesos per person to enter, but we did have to stand in line for quite a while, huge line. So perhaps you could book the tickets online in advance. I did see a couple of people go around with QR codes, so maybe that would be much easier, but yeah, we didn't know about it. That's why we ended up standing in the line. So the fort was built in 1571 by the Spanish to defend the city and control access by the Pasig River. Inside there's basically a central plaza surrounded by gardens, quiet little corners and stone walls. We also get a stunning view of the tall buildings, the new city in the backdrop. So yes, it's a stunning setting. I just love how green it is. It's very green. What's also interesting is that the fort also became a prison for political prisoners, including José Rizal, right before his execution. Okay, so we've now come to the dungeons of Fort Santiago. Now, these dungeons apparently served as a prison for enemies of state during the Spanish colonization, and it was last used during the Japanese occupation here. So after the Battle of Manila in 1945, during World War II, apparently they discovered here about 600 bodies of prisoners, and they were locked inside the dungeons left by the Japanese to suffer by starvation and suffocation. So, yeah, the Americans were the ones to find them eventually when they arrived, but the bodies were never actually identified. So, yeah, it's very sad to actually see all these tragic scenes. They even have photos here which are quite graphic, and yeah, it's deeply, deeply sad to see. Yeah, so it's quite a traumatizing experience to see those images, and with everything that's going on in the world right now, I'm even wondering, have we learned from our mistakes at all? After all that suffering, all that torture, it's just, yeah, there's just no words to describe what I'm feeling right now. So, although they couldn't identify the bodies, they were buried here, and this cross actually marks the final resting place of those 600 Filipinos and Americans that were found here in the dungeons. And right here at the fort, we also get an amazing view of the Pasig River. So from here, the Spanish could actually control who came upriver from Manila Bay, making the fort and the river pretty much inseparable parts of Manila's history. It was the main trade route shaping how the city grew along its banks. And what's really interesting and fascinating about this river is that it actually changes directions twice a day. So the tide actually reverses its flow with water pushing upriver from the bay and then back again. Okay, so we've made our way to the modern side of Manila. To be more specific, we came to the Bay Promenade along Manila Bay. And
So many people here.
yes, so many. What an atmosphere. It looks like there's a theme, well, mini theme park here.
Yes.
And we're right in front of Mall of Asia as well, which happens to be the biggest mall in the Philippines, the second biggest in Southeast Asia, and among the top 10 in the whole world. So Yes, it is packed in here. There are lots of activities for children, for families, food stalls, little cafes, restaurants, you name it.
And a lot of dogs.
And a lot of dogs, a lot of puppies, yes. Look, look at that. So we made it just in time for sunset, and I'm assuming everyone else is here for the same reason. Everyone is trying to catch a good spot. So we'll see if we can get a spot ourselves. I highly doubt it, but at least I'm hoping we can get a colorful sunset tonight. I'm also loving these beautiful coconut trees lighting the promenade. It instantly gives you this tropical vibe. So yes, what a different atmosphere, what a different side to the city. Now I'm wondering if it's like this every day or just because it's a Saturday.
I don't know.
I didn't expect it.
I just want to stay here.
Yes, I don't want to leave now. I don't want to leave Manila now. I just love it. Love the vibe here. Alright guys, what an evening it's been. What a day. They had these massive fireworks show. I thought they had some form of celebration, but it turns out they have them once a week here, just in front of the Mall of Asia.
How I said, I don't like to leave the Manila. I want to stay here.
It was spectacular, and overall, I must say, we had such an amazing day, amazing first couple of days here in Manila. It's just been fantastic. Yeah, what can I say about the Philippines? First impressions, Mihai?
I love Philippines.
Already, yeah, we already love the Philippines. I just felt so relaxed here all day, and I haven't felt like that in a very long time. You know, it's just been amazing, and Manila has this way of making you feel looked after, you know, through the small kindnesses, the little laugh you share with the locals here and there. And yeah, overall, it gives you the sense that in the Philippines, people truly and genuinely care about one another. So I can't wait to explore more. I really wish we had more time to explore the newer side of the city as well.
Next time.
Yeah, I thought that maybe one day could be enough, but it really wasn't. And yeah, unfortunately, because of the jet lag, our last previous 3 days were pretty much wasted, so we couldn't really do anything about it. So yeah, another good reason for us to come back and explore
100%.
a lot
I want
more.
to come back. I don't
Yeah.
want to leave now.
This city has plenty to offer, and yeah, we'll definitely be back. But thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.